Well, hi there, racing fans, and welcome to another edition of Winning Ways, where we've got a very interesting slot in your call today. We're going to watch the Farriers competition, compliments of Andrew Bonn, and we've got some fantastic farriers in this country. They've got all types of overseas visitors, and it was a wow.
Yeah, it's well worth watching, and Bonski's done a great job, and we're able to see what these guys get up to. A lot of owners don't really know what goes on.
And you know, for the fairer sex, it's quite nice to go and see those rippled muscles fighting with piece of hot iron, and
are there any fat farriers? I don't think so.
No, those are fit.
Those farriers bend over all the time.
I've got a couple that walk around without their shirts on the whole day, sort of flexing. They could be Lebanese.
Yeah, they're Stelicas.
They want to show their guns.
Stelicas.
Yeah.
Now, see, you found your voice with Arsenal winning.
I found no voice. Okay, we can't beat Bournemouth at home. Bournemouth, we've got to be useless. The Cherries were pathetic.
But you won 3-0.
3-0. I saw a team that won 5-0. What did you think of that?
I think it was tough, it was very good. Liverpool in the game. Just view it from this. I'm going to give you one question I'm going to throw to you. I'm not holding up the flag for Liverpool, but when you play in the top team, you don't want to lose a player. He came flying through, caught the guy in the face. It's a red card. The rules are clear-cut, dangerous play, last man, whatever. Just take back one step. Imagine Mane was a bit quicker, played the ball with his foot, got poleaxed by a keeper who came out to give him. Then it's red card to the keeper. They're down to 10 men. Would they have won? Then? I don't know. Liverpool's defence fell apart, passing balls through the middle of their centre backs for those quick Man City boys to come in. So it was one of those things. I wouldn't lose sleep.
At the end of the day, bunch of sissies playing football now. In your day, you used to tackle. We
were like farriers.
Tackle from behind. Any way you could get hold of the ball.
That's it. You had to get the ball.
It was like cricketers in the old days. They used to play with a box and some rubber things on your hand and play against those Garfield Sobers and people like that.
I think apart from maybe Wixie, Chelly, maybe Budge, Kirsch, a few of those boys, the rest of us would have been playing in third division, one below first division. Those looks are good at the top. Did you watch my beloved Spurs comfortably turn Everton away?
Yeah, Everton were very disappointing.
They were poor at home.
Really poor at home. Horrendous.
And Moan Reno, the coach of Man United. Moan United.
Well, I must tell you, I told the boys I think I'm going to support Man United.
They'd rather not have you.
Moan Reno. We couldn't wait to get into the other guy's area. And Mark Hughes, I think he's an ex-Manchester United boy, isn't he?
A celebrity from Man United.
It just shows you.
Yeah.
Well done to Mark Hughes and the boys for giving Moan Reno something to think about. I saw a wonderful cartoon of Klopp's wife waking him up saying it's 6 o'clock. He says, have they scored again?
So his interview afterwards was great. He was great. He said, we move on. Yeah,
I like him, but
he's a good guy.
There are a lot of people slagging off about him.
You don't want the doer Mourinho, the doer Arsene Wenger's. You want guys with character. But it's tightened up the league. If Huddersfield win tonight, James, they go to 10 points.
What about Brighton?
Great for them. They got 3 goals against West Brom. Great for them. I like Chris Hughton because he's an ex-Spurs boy. He's Irish. Yeah. So I'm very pleased for them, but they're not a good side. And I believe the hot favourite to go down has got to be the Crystal Palace boss.
Yeah.
I watched the highlights, James. They shouldn't have lost.
No.
So who knows?
But at the end of the day, that wasn't the only sport. We had Kevin Anderson got thumped by Rafael Nadal, but at least he got that.
Yeah. What about the box?
They're moderate.
I'm saying again, the Fly-off's not good enough. The Skosan's not good enough. These are 2 players that aren't good enough at that level. And when we're under pressure, it's highlighted. Again, there were some shocking decisions by our fly-half. They never swung the ball as much as they did when they played the Wallabies, the RGs. And the All Blacks, we've got to go play them. I want your prediction. Springbok All Black in New Zealand.
The All Blacks.
How many points will All Blacks
All Blacks will put 18 past us.
18 better by 18. That's a fair call.
Yeah. I think
that's
18 will be the number.
Okay.
It could be more. It could be more. It just depends who gets a red card.
Have you ever tipped the box?
You can't tip them. They you know. I've got a mate who I tip to as far as rugby betting is concerned, because I think I'm a bit of a fundi, and I study the game and study the way things go. And I always tell him, whenever it's Argentina or the Pumas, do not have a bet.
Argentina or the Pumas?
The Argentina, or in the Super 15, what were they called? They called themselves the Pumas or whatever.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they are the most unpredictable side because they had New Zealand on the rack. And as the commentator said, instead of taking the 3 points, 60 minutes to go, if they kick for the corner and put them under pressure, the New Zealanders were 14 men and scored a 7-pointer and been 10 points in front instead of 6 points in front, might have been a whole different ball game. You cannot bet against a team like that. Yeah. When they play good rugby, they play good rugby, and they were fantastic on the weekend. The All Blacks played great.
Yeah, the Argies are good, but don't you think...
You've seen how shocking James, they were against us in the last 2 games.
Yeah. James, don't you think that's the best name in rugby? Geronimo de la Fuente.
Geronimo. I would always like to have been called Geronimo.
Geronimo Goodman.
Yeah, Geronimo the Frog.
Okay.
That would have been my name.
Jim, well done. Okay, Jim, write it down. 18 points, Jim says. The Box will lose by 80. Let's see how accurate Geronimo Goodman is.
Okay, well, we're going to move on and see what 3 to follow we've got. We've got a couple of good ones. Right, let's go to Turfentine, and we go to the 7th of September. Chris Van Niekerk's birthday. He had the winner, but we picked up the horse that ran third. What a great run it was from this Richard Forsyth Thompson bred. He's been in the game a long time, Richard.
Yeah, his colours, you can see his colours on it.
He's been around.
He's had some decent horses over the years.
He had the black horse that could run like anything.
That's made it easy for me. That's made it easy to remember.
It was a Fort Wood.
Thank you, Geronimo.
Thank you. Okay, let's go and have a look at the first one, Pretty Penny at Turfentine. Very nice name. Pretty Penny was a great sprinter in the old days.
Well, this one's no slouch. Gets out well. I think it shows good pace. You know, the winner, as you say, well done to Chris Van Niekerk. Happy birthday to you, Chris. Everyone knows Chris's colours. That's the winner. La Bastida shows pace. Distant Call shows pace. And Quick Glimpse is on the inside. I thought that would be a horse that would run close. Maybe not on the favourite side of the track. That's Anthony Delpesh. But not far off the pace, James. Pretty Penny.
No, it's got the white stripe on its face next door to Chris Van Niekerk's horse. It's about 6 off the right-hand side of your screen. And the reddish colours, red and green colours. And it runs a good race because it lugs in and ends up running on really well.
James, the horse you backed at the back there?
Yeah.
Gee, that's ridden by Geronimo. He's lost his irons.
So what happened? Can I get a refund?
You get a refund. But Pretty Penny's horse we found. And as it gets down to the finish, looks like it's going to be a tight finish. Coming to front is La Bastide. And here it is on its inside, as James says, that white face. This is a smart debut, James.
That's very interesting you mentioned the horse on the inside. This horse runs on really well, and I think it's worth following. But it's interesting you mentioned that, because what I find strange is I'm sure that the lead horses are not allowed to come down the track until the race is over. I think that
wasn't a lead horse, I pointed out. It was a runner.
No, it was a lead horse.
No, there was a runner. The guy lost his irons.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Geronimo himself. Yeah, that wasn't a lead horse, James.
Maybe we'll see him and this shouldn't happen. Okay. Anyway, let's move on. We're going to Cape Town, and we go to Kenilworth, first race. Go and have a look what happened there. Love Happens. That's what happened. Love Happens, bred by the Divines. Here it is, drawn towards the outside.
Yeah, it runs a very good race, this horse. You know, it really gets done at the start, but it soon sort of works its way into the race. You know, the pace is on. Everyone, well, not most people have gone at the grey horse off the middle. True Words. We had tipped this as one to follow, James. There's True Words, and there's a lot of speed on from 7th Rule. So 7th Rule goes at a quick pace up in front. and your eventual winner, True Words, is the grey horse who eventually wins it, as I said. But not far adrift as this Love Happens.
It's up third the whole way. It's from a bad start, got taken out at the start. This Silvano colt might be quite useful out of a Jetmaster mare, bred by the Divines. Yeah, it's off the bit, but I think this horse might be quite a useful horse. I would be looking to follow this horse through its career. Ran a cracking good race.
Yeah, because if you have a look at Water Summers coming behind there now, Water Summers are fancied Water Winter, and that is in Bryn Russell's colours. That's coming through in the white face. It looks like it's going to walk past Love Happens. The race for first is over.
Yeah. Then Fanica gets the stick in the left, and Nye changes it to the right and starts riding her right, just keeping her at keeping him at his job, and runs a cracking good race. I mean, a really good race. The byword wins nicely for the boys.
Isn't he at end of the 3-year-old career the highest rated byword gets a bonus? $500,000.
End of the 3-year-old career.
Yeah, $500,000.
Yeah.
This one's thrown his hat into the ring.
Well, he certainly has, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He was a
very
expensive
Joey
horse.
He had a good few winners
too. He was a R2 million horse. He's out of a Daylami mare and bred by the Pickerings.
Got to go a little bit. Is that Pickering bred? Okay, well done.
Yeah. Let's move on to the next
day.
one we found. London Spirit. We go and pick this one up. It ran at Kenilworth in the third race, 1,000 metres. This ran a cracker. Let's have a close look at this. Horse Chestnut filly out of a Silvano mare. So Silvano has been featured prominently.
All three of our horses, two out of Silvano mares and one was by Silvano. It looks like blue cub colours on the outside. Jumps fairly well, then gets completely lost. This is London Spirit. The winner is interesting to note because the winner is a stablemate called Wings of Honour, who's by Crusade. It's a debutant by Crusade who runs a very good race. Starting to sneak into your picture in a red cap. There's your winner. Looks like Hutting's colours.
That's exactly right. Wings of Honour is its name. It's a chestnut that wins the race. But watch how far this filly is now dropped off it. She's now on the left-hand side of your picture. Cannot go with them at all, London Spirit. She looks like she's got absolutely no chance. The horses down the inside have got the race to themselves. And this runs on extremely well. So make a note of London Spirit. Corner Alpha rode it from the outside draw. And the winner, as you say, put his head down and looked like he was going to get beaten.
Yeah, it looked like Runaway Rebel had it here. Runaway Rebel's got it, but this Crusade Wings of Honour, we can't talk about the horse we've shown you because it only comes into the film late. Look for the blue colours late.
There it is. It gets up to run right there on top of them and certainly runs a really good race once it got the hang of what was going on. Horse Chestnut, always been worth having a look at them. We're going to have a look at what shouldn't happen. Let's hope we got a different one this week. We thought they'd had their time, this Zebra and this Show Pony, but obviously they've been very much into each other, these two.
They've been shipped out.
So that we've got to get rid of them. We'll go for the Argentine Rough Rider next time again and see whether we can find someone that does a job like that. But we got Plum of the Week.
Arcade, unbelievable there, tries to put on pressure. Roy Psycho's on the inside. First Crusade's also trying to run on at the 300, but Zen Arcade goes for home. First Crusade's going to try and make a race of it outside the 200, and Zen Arcade still goes though. Zen Arcade going on, and Zen Arcade coming home lonely to win by 2.5 lengths. Zen Arcade has won it. First Crusade second, Roy Psycho third, and running on Slightly Scottish.
Well, that was the bet to start your Sunday off. Interbet 8 to 10. This looked like an amazing price about this horse. He started 6 to 10 with the rest of them, but he was an absolute. I mean, the only thing that you could say about him was maybe coming back in trip. But he ran the race of his life in the first time out in that big breeders' race, and was beaten by a horse that looks very, very
smart.
useful.
I think it's Gerbers, isn't it?
Yeah, Gerbers' horse with Alec Laird. And he beat Canamer's horse that ran third, which was expensive yearling, and had won a decent baby race. People said, oh, the form didn't stand up, but at the end of the day, this horse might be a very, very good horse.
I was very impressed with him. I was impressed with him, the way he's turned out, the way he ran. And good to see Gunther Frogman. But in town, he had a couple of winners in a second.
He had a couple of winners, He shows his class.
Gunther did
Have
well.
you ever seen him play golf?
No.
As a pro with a handicap, I promise you.
A pro with a handicap.
He's a pro with a handicap.
Okay.
He's played in the Mauritian Open a few times.
Seriously?
Yeah, no, he can play properly.
Sure.
But the trouble is that he's more intent on pushing out his chest. Putting's not that good.
Not that good, but he can ride. He's been riding for years. Yeah. Well done to Gunther, and well done, of course, Gunther Frogman.
Gunther Frogman. Good name for him.
Yeah.
Right, we're going to take a break after this ad. We're going to be back to you with current affairs.
Jim, give me your...
The future of all betting is online and mobile. Interbet, we're the pioneers of online and mobile betting in South Africa and continue to lead the way.
When you win one of these big races, everything else becomes meaningless. It's just something, that thrill of adrenaline is just incredible.
Interbet is where the serious professionals bet.
Right, well, we're back with current affairs. Let's see what we've got here. Let's go to our promo first.
Right, welcome to another edition of Current Affairs. No stakes racing around the country, but we're going to bring you one race. And Jim and I have been talking for weeks about the fastest horse in Europe, and we'd seen a few contenders, and two won this week. Well, the one we're going to show you is the Group 1. And the Group 1 has a horse in here called Harry Angel. Now, Harry Angel is, funny enough, James, by a stallion who's really flying, a grey stallion called Dark Angel, who won the Middle Park. He only raced as a 2-year-old, he announced starts as a 2-year-old. And just throwing big horse after big horse. And they had said with Harry's Angel, you're mad to race in this race at Haydock. It's very heavy. The horse won't handle it. And there's some top sprinters who'd run around the country taking him on. And the trainer said, no, let's see how good he is. I think he'll handle the ground. And let's have a look at this race, and I'll get your opinion. It's the Haydock Sprint Cup. Let's have a look.
They're off. the 32 Red Sprint Cup of 2017, the Tin Man and Kimberella. Just a little bit slow in gathering stride. Harry Angel in the all blue away well on the left, Blue Point out on the right, Queen Kindly between them going freely, and the grey Magical Memory tracks them. Small group of three, a little isolated from the main group, and now they begin to converge as they head towards the end of the second furlong. So it's Blue Point and Harry Angel to the free going Queen Kindly, the grey Magical Memory, and then Tasleet, the striped cap from Growl and Cougar Mountain, and Kimberella. Brando in a yellow jacket is weighted with from the Tin Man in the dark blue, and then Mr. Lupton, and they move past halfway, and it's Harry Angel who has a lead of a half length to Blue Point on the extreme right track there by Queen Kindly and Magical Memory. Tasleet away to the left with a striped cap improving. Kimberella, white jacket, is on the move. Further left to Mr. Lupton, Cougar Mountain and Growl. Brando and the Tin Man are trying to pick up, but it's Harry Angel with a furlong and a half to go, who skipped a couple of lengths clear. Tasleet is chasing, then Blue Point and the Tin Man. Harry Angel with a half furlong left to cover. 3-4 lengths ahead. Tasleet is chasing, but he's surely chasing his shadow, and Harry Angel, a class apart, wins the 32 Red Sprint Cup. Tasleet is second, the Tin Man in third.
There we go, the 32 Red Sprint. Now, James, he's a machine. Now, he had dethroned Caravaggio at Ascot. And they'd said, woof, you know, wasn't it Caravaggio's day? And Caravaggio blotted his copybook, but he came back, the Curragh this week, Caravaggio. He won by a length and in a slow time, but he won again. Yeah. So when these all lock horns again, it'll be very interesting.
Well, the thing is that Caravaggio has had two bad runs
since right.
He got beaten by this horse, but I'm not sure this horse isn't better than him. Caravaggio is obviously a very good horse, but he looks like he's well held by this horse.
Yes.
This is some type of sprinter.
Yeah, great sprinter.
And as you say, Dark Angel,
good stallion now.
Yeah,
very good stallion. Plenty
good
Group
stallion.
1 horses. Yeah, but he's by acclamation. So, James, let's talk about the Curragh. I know you gave it. I know Smart Call ran earlier in the day in a Group 2. And
no type of race.
Yeah, it wasn't her run. Yeah. But there were some good horses who ran that day, James.
Well, Caravaggio, he won the Daring Downs Flying 5 sprint, okay, over 5 furlongs. But more importantly, certainly for South Africa, was the Matron Stakes, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Which was a Group 1, and it was won by Hydrangea. Just beat Winter. Now, Winter and Hydrangea have met 4 times. Winter's won all of them, except this one.
Yeah.
And it is very important for South Africa because the Hydrangea is a full sister to the United States, which now...
The United States stands at Moutonzouk.
Yeah.
And a big plus for Moutonzouk for getting the stallion in, because, as James just alluded to, Hydrangea is a superstar. It's a full sister.
Well, he's a Group 1 winner, and she's now a Group 1 winner. So, you know... That's big for them.
That's
and
massive.
Certainly, he's by Galileo out of a pivotal mare. A lot to like about the horse.
So,
you know, everyone's talking about him, and I think that his first crop will be very, very keenly received.
I agree with you. Keep an eye out for the United States, James. There were other races on the day. There was the Irish St. Ledger.
Yeah.
Walk in the Park.
9 lengths. Order of St. George.
Yeah.
I don't know what he meant. I remember this time last year he got beaten by Big Orange in the Duke of Marmalade in this race, and that was a big surprise, as I thought at the time. Well, so it's turned out, because Order of St. George is the best stayer around.
Yeah.
He ran, I think he was placed in the Arc, wasn't he, last year at the end of the year?
He's going to be another
Frankie
Yates.
rode him.
Another Yates.
Yeah, a very, very good horse. Well, the trouble is Yates is siring jumpers, which is such a shame.
He's so stout. Decorated Knight?
Irish Champion Stakes, Decorated Knight. This is trained by Roger Charlton. Andrea Tenzi rode it. Another Galileo out of a Storm Cat mare.
Great pedigree.
He won the Irish Champion Stakes. So what's important about the Irish Champion Stakes is that the 2 Coolmore horses, Cliffs of Moher and Churchill, down the field.
Cool.
That's one then wonders about Derby form, you know, about
all
the
form.
3-year-old.
The 3-year-old form, yeah.
You know, whether they're that good, because this horse gave
How many
them a
will go
proper...
at the Arc, James? Because Enable's going to be at the Arc. She'll roll into town as favourite. But I still think they'll send a few to take her on.
Well, yes, and there was obviously fantastic racing in France as well, because we had the Moulin, Prix Moulin, which is a very big Group 1, and Ribchester won his 4th Group 1. He's probably the best miler, Group 1 miler around. He's a
top horse.
hell of a race horse. Yeah.
What about my mate, Mark Johnson? Now he's taken to penning articles on race meetings.
Yeah, he calls it, it's a very funny name, he calls it, he's got some
Dry
name
Scottish
for it.
humour.
But Mark Johnson, he's a character, and he calls a spade, and obviously people don't like what he's got to say, but he was talking about he says he's been to some of these race meetings where they have a band afterwards, and he says they're a waste of time, this band afterwards. He says because you just get a whole lot of drunken louts lying around, okay, not watching the racing. No one's actually interested in the racing. They're just there for the band afterwards and to get drunk and have a good time. And he said, but Chelmsford was different because of the MC, and the MC is your mate.
Who's that?
You know who he is.
Oh, Tomo.
Yeah.
Tomo. Okay, she.
Yeah.
And the front belongs to, he said, and I remember all his commentaries, who's going to win? That's his job to tell us.
Well, what happened was that Tomo was the MC of this event at Chelmsford, and he said he made the event because now he got them all involved in the racing, okay?
Yes.
He had competitions, okay, about the racing and that, so he had all these drunken louts that Johnson was talking about lying around, but he got them involved because he had the cameras. If you were picked up on camera with your spouse or your friend or your girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever, you had to kiss them, okay? So it was a kissing competition. So everyone now watching the screen to see when they come on. I would like to be standing next to Mark Johnston.
Only Tomo. But they had a band, didn't they? Chelmsford?
They had Boyzone or something afterwards. But he said that Tomo made it because Tomo actually got the crowd involved. And he says that's the right way. Now, I've seen we've had bands here and the race course. But you've got to get someone to interact with all those people who know nothing about the racing. You'd be perfect.
Yeah.
You can interact with all those people and make it so they know something about the racing. All race goers know about pre-race parades and commentaries and this and that and the other. But the non-race goers don't know anything. Okay? And he wrote this fantastic blog about this, and it's on the
where can people get to read it? It sounds like it's
you can read it on Daily Racing Form, European Daily Racing Form website. I read the Daily Racing Form as like a Bible. That's fantastic. It tells you everything that's going on. And so Tomo was the main event.
Tomo's always been a character of note. Do you know, I'll tell you a story. Years ago, Tomo used to write this big article giving tips. He would tip to everybody. He's always a great character. He'd say, from the gallops.
Yeah, from
the gallops. From the gallops, you'd say, you got to back this horse of so-and-so, this horse of so-and-so, this horse of so-and-so. And someone said to him, but we never see you at the gallops. You're calling this the gallops, but you're never there. He said, my house is called the gallops. He called his house the gallops. That's Tomo for you. That's Tomo.
Well, just getting back to it, it shows you that if you get all these people to the races, have an interaction between someone and them, that's actually getting them involved in the racing. And that's what Tomo did. And Mark Johnson put it very well, how well Tomo did this. And
Bonsky's got some great interviews with Derek Thompson.
Yeah, it's well worth going and having a look at this article because it's interesting to see a perspective of how these events are put on by the clubs, race clubs and racing entities, and how they're seen by someone who's involved in working on the race course, because he says it's a nightmare normally. He says he can't get to his car, he can't get to see his horses run because there's so many people lying around. He can't do anything that he normally does on the race course. And he said most of them are there only for the band.
And the booze.
Yeah, the band and the booze and the good time. Anyway, talking about less nice things that happen. Gulfstream, yeah.
Yeah, well, people must be wondering what happens when these big tornadoes and cyclones come into town and there's horses and animals involved. They took the step of moving out. How many horses?
750 evacuated out the backstretch of Gulfstream.
Imagine how many floats just sending them.
And the trouble was, from what I could see, was that Calder actually got nearly the worst part of this hurricane. Yes. And they didn't evacuate them. But Gulfstream, being a seaside
Yes,
place.
yeah.
You know, they're worried about, you know, where the water would go and how.
Yeah, it's
they got them out.
devastating. Devastating.
750. Now, the other important news, which we mentioned last week, and apparently we've had a bit of feedback. The Magic Millions, those are horses in training cell, 10th and 11th.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
It's like a breeze up, you know,
Yeah.
the horse in training cell. But it's the quality on there is fantastic.
There's some very, very nice horses on there, and you can go and buy them. They say that the average is under $50,000, which is very good value. You can buy a horse in training.
Massive horses that come off these cells, James.
Yeah.
Massive horses.
And on top of that, you know, if you can go on their website and have a look at the horses' work and this and that and the other. You can get vet report. You can do it all from here.
You get photographs, horse. You can do everything.
And you can just phone Rowena and ask her to buy the horse.
That's right. You just got to look at them. And if you want any horse checked out, you can either call me or call Rowena Smith at Magic Millions. And believe me, there's a lot of good horses come out of this cell.
Yeah, it's a very, very nice cell. 250 odd horses.
James, these horses, they race in a few months' time.
Some of them, there's a horses in training sale as well.
Yeah.
You know, which means that you can buy something in training.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
That might be some fun. Anyway, that looks like what we've got as far as the Hurricane Irma is concerned. And luckily, South Africa doesn't have problems like this. Can you imagine? We don't have any hurricanes.
Mauritius has cyclones.
Well, Mauritius will use.
I grew up in Mauritius, I know. I used to see dustbins going past my window, car roofs and whatever. So cyclones, you get a warning at school.
Yeah.
Don't come to school tomorrow. Cyclone warning 1 and 2.
Loved that.
Oh, I loved it when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Yeah. Well, we can see it in your education.
It's a hell of a blow, this thing.
Yeah, hell of a blow. Okay, we're going to be looking at the Farriers Convention. We'll be back with that. Farriers competition. This is well worth having a close look at. These guys are masters of their trade. They come from all over the world, come out here, and that was held in Cape Town. Andrew Bond put together this clip. You'll enjoy it.
Andrew, we've over the last few years had a really strong driving force in educating farriers, getting them up to a higher level so that they can take care of the horses that they're shoeing. And this is what this is all about. It's competition, yes, but it's competition or education through competition. Farriers are all here, there are 40 farriers here that are all interacting, talking with each other, and most of what they're talking about is horseshoeing.
Oh, the camaraderie and the spirit's probably one of the main things, but I've never come to one of these things and not learned. You know, Robbie put out a couple of challenging shoes. A few of the other guys, I mean, Ian Pope put out a very challenging shoe.
And even with the actual classes going on, they're watching and learning from each other and learning with each other, and that's what this is all about.
This is the campsite where everybody stays overnight. And this is someone's tatabaki. It's got a fridge in it.
The way they've structured this contest where your more experienced guys can come in and help the more inexperienced guys, you know, it's just so great. And it's such a good thing which can only promote and better what we're doing, because we're doing this all for the horse at the end of the day.
Andrew, we've over the last few years had a really strong driving force in educating farriers, getting them up to a higher level so that they can take care of the horses that they're shoeing. And this is what this is all about. It's competition, yes, but it's competition or education through competition. Farriers are all here. There are 40 farriers here that are all interacting, talking with each other, and most of what they're talking about is horseshoeing. And even with the actual classes going on, they're watching and learning from each other and learning with each other, and that's what this is all about.
You've taken up the role as chairman of the Gauteng Association. You say you did it under duress, but at the end of the day, you know exactly why you're doing it and how you benefit the association.
100%. All we try and do is just better the whole industry for our members, try to keep everyone up to date with education-wise, exams, all that kind of thing. Gauteng has been a little bit behind, but yeah, we're trying to pick up things again and get it moving, and I think we're slowly getting there, getting the guys involved again, and yeah, if they don't get involved, they're going to miss out on a lot. There's a lot to be done, a lot to be seen, and a lot to be learned.
I know I'm probably the oldest farrier in the country at the moment, or in our group, the chaps we know. But I feel as long as I keep going, I'm able to keep going. Your body stays fairly good in shape, you know, and don't take very long holidays. I'm scared if I should lose too much fitness, I'll struggle to get back into it. You know, I always say Monday's a tough day. I'm really stiff from sitting on the couch. Tuesday's a nice day, Wednesday's a nice day, then Thursday I start going downhill. By Friday I'm buggered again. And then but like I say, a short holiday, you need it just to recuperate and get your body back into shape and that sort of thing, but not too long, and I think that would probably apply to a horse as well.
So woe betide the man that thinks that he knows it all, because at this age, you're still on fire to come to these events and to share your knowledge and to learn from new techniques and just to share the camaraderie and the spirit.
Oh, the camaraderie and the spirit's probably one of the main things, but I've never come to one of these things and not learned. You know, Robbie put out a couple of challenging shoes. A few of the other guys, and Ian Pope put out a very challenging shoe. But I was just talking to Robbie Dawson. I thought I had this big draft shoe cracked. Watching Robbie Miller and the guys make it, I've missed out on a serious technique there, you know. And just watching the guys, you learn. You don't have to be in the fire to be learning all the time. I'm guilty of not working against the clock at home. It's kind of how I train my apprentices. I say, work slowly, but work right. The speed will come. And by the time I leave home, I'm probably way behind the clock, but the adrenaline gets going once you get into the fire here, and you're guilty of not finishing sometimes. You don't have a bit of a bad luck, you burn a piece of iron, you've got to start all over again. But it's amazing how once the adrenaline starts pumping, you actually do manage to finish within the time.
This is the first interprovincial we've had for many, many years, and you know, for a second one it's just grown. I mean, you can see how many guys are here. We had 40 farriers from South Africa, which is it's a huge thing. We've never had a turnout like this before, and it's just been absolutely fantastic. Yeah, and the farriers helping farriers, that's what it's all about. Farriers helping farriers and farriers helping horses.
We've had a whale of a time. Never a wasted effort coming to these things, and you know, the camaraderie here with all the guys in the industry, it's mates. You know, I've seen some of my old army farriers. There's probably more than 10 ex-Bermuda farriers floating around here in the crowd, whether they're competing or just spectating. And you know, it's just great to see all these people again come up here, work together with the teams, but it's also learning our skills and passing our skills as the elder generation onto the youngsters. And in so doing, we continuing the trade.
Well, talking about the history of the trade, I think most of us would know that farrier is the second oldest profession known to humankind. The point is that so much has remained the same. You know, that old expression, the more things change, the more things stay the same, whether that's balance or whether it's technology. Nothing really seems to affect the fundamentals of farriery.
Yeah, it's pretty much remained the same for thousands of years. And at the end of the day, we shoe for the horse's conformation. We have to go with the horse's conformation. And in actual fact, to do that, you have to have a vast knowledge on that horse's conformation and the anatomy and how things work, dynamics of motion within the feet. We need to shoe for a sound horse. So it not goes about balancing a foot symmetrically to what suits our eye. We have to balance that foot for the horse. And it might not be a balanced foot by our standards, but it works for that horse. And that's what keeps horses sound. but it's the knowledge to be able to do that we need to pass on to the younger generation. And those fundamentals will never change.
I must admit, your association seems to have incredible communication skills. Everybody on this forum, SAAPF, whether it's the social or the professional side, if there's a problem, people know about it and they deal with it immediately.
Yes, Andrew, we've become a very close-knit family in the farrier world. And, we don't like to see problems go unsolved. Anybody in this association knows that anything that's needed, phone Catherine.
Looking around over here, there's some absolutely unbelievable prizes, and even though people won't take home lots of cash, they've come here to learn, and they've come here to be rewarded and recognized for their endeavors.
Andrew, the education in farriery is priceless. So monetary is not a big, that's not about it. We've come here to learn. I don't think there's been one complaint this entire weekend. The guys have had a really, really good time. We're all going to walk away from this with something. Scotty, Benji, Army, Maurice, thank you very, very, very much.
I've always said that you need to have events at accessible venues, and these days cost comes into everything. So it is probably the cheapest destination for everyone to fly to. So it is, and Scott's got a fantastic venue, so it really does make sense in a lot of ways. The investment in yourself coming to a weekend like this, you can't put a price on it. It's certainly worth it. Whenever I hear there's an event, I book my flights as early as possible, because leading up to any event, you just think there's no ways I can do this time-wise. You've got to make time for it. You can't not make time for it. You have to.
Your business as a autonomous farrier in the Eastern Cape, how's it going? What do you see in the horse population?
I think in everything in the horse population these days, everyone's battling financially. But the lucky thing with horse people is we're normally mad enough to look after our horses before we look after anything else. So we're still doing well. People are cutting down. I think everyone's cutting down. But I don't think we're going to lose out completely anytime soon. We'll still keep going. It's a great industry to be involved in.
It's been a great weekend. The support from teams around the country. And I didn't imagine that it would turn out like this, but we've had a lot of support. We put a lot of work into the venue and upgraded the equipment and stuff, and we had great sponsors from horse owners and people that produce products, and it all came together.
I have to touch on your daughter, because she plays a very important role at Phumelela in terms of social media, and it's always nice to have a different avenue on which to get this beautifully important information out there.
Yeah, my daughter's been a big motivation to me. She always says, "Dad, you need to put yourself out there." And being old school, it's kind of hard for me, but she's helped me along. She's my greatest critic and my greatest support, and I love her to death.
And finally, this incredibly beautiful environment. People drive between the Vaal and Sandton or Fourways or wherever they're going, and they have no idea how much heritage lies in this immediate vicinity around you.
Yeah, we come from a very rich history here. Going back to the Boer War, I mean, the armistice was signed here at Henley, which is 8 k's from me. British farrier shops during the Boer War are right 3 k's away from me. I found old mule shoes and horseshoes on this farm. So, yeah, we have a rich heritage here. And when I came here 25 years ago to this farm, my vision was to try and resurrect shoeing and promote horseshoeing in this country, and so that ultimately South African farriers can take their rightful place on the world stage. And I do believe that they will do that.
Your World of Winners is now online at www.teletrack.com. Simply subscribe to log into your account from any mobile device in South Africa and access a wide variety of content from our membership package options. Listen in via a live audio stream, catch live racing locally and internationally, or view a wide variety of Teletrack magazine shows to stay informed and updated on the go at any time. It's never been easier. Go to teletrack.com now.